I want to tell my story about how my whole life collapsed, which, as I accidentally found out, was soaked in lies. 3 months ago, I considered myself the happiest person in the world. I enjoyed life. I was sure that I had the most wonderful family, a faithful, loving wife, and a beautiful daughter. Although she's the only one who's not letting me completely break down right now. Madison and I got married early. She had just turned 18, and I was 22. A year later, a daughter was born. They named her Aria. To be precise, 6 years have passed from the moment of the wedding to that fateful day. They lived well, practically did not swear. I earned well. Over the years I made a good career, became the head of the commercial department, but I never deprived my family of my attention and care. Every penny in the house, every free minute for my girls, flowers and gifts for everyone, even the most insignificant occasion. Everything was fine in my personal life too. I still can't figure out the reasons why they did this to me, trying to find fault primarily in myself, but without success. That day 3 months ago, I remember every detail as if it were today. I woke up, had breakfast, my wife leaves for work later, took my daughter to kindergarten, went to work myself in high spirits. 2 hours later, Madison's wife calls me and informs me that she took an empty stomach pregnancy test in the morning, so that it was accurate, and said that it was positive, even took a picture and sent 2 stripes. She said that she called work, took the whole day off. Now she will go to the women's clinic, confirm the test, specify the time frame, get registered. He'll try to get it done before lunch, and then he'll cook something delicious. In the evening, when I come home from work, we will celebrate. I was very happy with this news. I told the boss at work. He congratulated me on joining the family and even let me leave work early. I didn't call my wife, but decided to make a surprise. I didn't think that the surprise was waiting only for me. He picked up his daughter from kindergarten and took her to his parents. He also told them the news. They realized that my wife and I needed to be alone. In the morning, the father promised to take his daughter to kindergarten himself. They were happy for us too. I bought a cake, a beautiful bouquet, champagne, and a gold pendant as a gift and hurried home. I opened the door noiselessly, very quietly. My wife was sitting in the room in front of the computer and chatting animatedly, loudly with her friend on Skype. She did not even hear me enter and stand outside the door. But the conversation I heard threw me into a great shock. A friend said, "Well, tell me, Madison, how long has it been?" "The 4th week." "Does Asher know?" "Asher, friends, it's me." The wife responds, "Yes, I called him first." A friend says, "Only to him? Are you sure it's Asher's baby?" The wife replies, "Of course, but from whom else? Michael and I have not slept for 2 months now, and with Ethan we are always protecting ourselves. I told him that if I wanted more children, they would only be from my husband. I told him a year and a half ago on the shore that I was not going to ruin my family, and that he should not expect anything serious." A friend says, "What about that handsome guy from the exhibition? I almost got burned when I was scolding you in front of a man." Wife, "Oh, I beg you, children are not born from non-traditional sex." And they both laughed. "Oh, Madison, you're playing. You have such a great husband. Tell me, what are you missing? If you don't like it then." Her wife interrupted her, "But don't lecture me, Hannah. You're a saint. You've started your record again. I love my husband very much, but now the 21st century is in the yard. We need to be more modern. Girlfriend, love and sex are 2 different concepts. Not everything can be measured by money and sex. If I only wanted material benefits, I would have taken Michael out of the family long ago and married him. He spends money like seeds, and he doesn't need much." A friend asked, "And what does Asher have to do with it?" The wife, "And what about Asher? Asher is my husband. He is the father of my future 2nd child and my daughter. Our spiritual closeness, he is my dear, suits me psychologically and to my liking. He's easy for me, but I love him. But there is no need to mix love and just sex. And then such adventures on the side bring a certain zest to family life. Fuel it, so to speak. That was the conversation they had. If I had been hit under the shoulder blade with a red-hot bayonet at that moment, I probably wouldn't have been so hurt and disgusted by everything I heard. At that moment, as I stood and listened to this conversation, I wanted only one thing: to die. It felt like an invisible hoop was squeezing my temples, as well as my throat. Sweat was pouring in streams. My ears were literally ringing. Everything became not even black and white, but black and gray. I don't remember how I entered the room. She turned around in fright and realized from my appearance that I had heard everything. Her reaction was like in those cheap TV shows. "You got it all wrong." It was a joke. Realizing that making me look like a fool would only add fuel to the fire, she fell to her knees and began to ask, "Please forgive me, for the sake of my daughter, for the sake of the unborn child." Ugh, how disgusting. I wanted to grab her by the hair and hit her head on the floor, but apparently my father's instinct got the better of me. I contented myself with whipping her with a bouquet, after which I took the wedding ring off my finger and also threw it in her face. Then I ran out and drove home to my parents. I almost got into an accident twice. I stopped at the nearest supermarket and bought 3 bottles of vodka and juice. Arriving at my parents' house, I went up to the 2nd floor of the house. I yelled at my daughter and was rude to my father. Then I hugged Aria, apologized, kissed her, and said that I love her very much. I locked myself in a room and stupidly drank vodka. I drank like water. I didn't even get drunk from the first bottle. I called the boss and asked for a couple of days off. He asked what happened. I told him that I would explain later. He gave me a couple of days off, besides the weekend. 4 days is enough to recover. I drank my 3rd bottle of vodka and passed out. I didn't let anyone in the house for 2 days, sobbing and staring at one point. My mother came in a couple of times, brought tea and asked questions. I haven't told my parents anything yet. Then my mom came and said that Madison had come for me in Aria. It was already Sunday. I said Aria would stay here and asked my wife to be kicked out. Mom told us to figure it out on our own. If we quarrel, anything can happen in the family. If only she knew. The wife enters. I'm sitting on the floor and I look pretty pathetic. Now I'm voicing a dialogue with my wife. "Well, hello dear. How are you feeling? Are you overreacting? Shall we talk? How else did you have the nerve to show up?" The wife says, "Do you hate me? I understand how you're feeling right now. I know how much you're hurting right now. But at least try to listen to me. Before that, answer me the question. Have I been a bad wife, a bad mother, a bad hostess all this time? Did you come out dirty, hungry, or did I please you badly in bed?" I say, "Well, that's it. I'm filing for divorce. Aria will stay with me. I'll pick up my things and hers tomorrow after work." Yes, it's not surprising. The first reaction of the deceived husband. She twisted a fig and shoved it under my nose. "Did you see this? We will return to this later. You don't even try to listen to me and understand what I said." Understand what? If you had said that you met another man and fell in love with him, fell madly in love, I would have understood. If you were drunk once, accidentally, without realizing what you were doing, and you really regret it, I would understand. If you were jealous of me, if I cheated on you, and you decided to take revenge on me, I would understand. And what is there to understand at all? How can you be such a soulless, cynical creature, cheating for no reason, just for your own pleasure? And you know, the worst thing is that you don't even understand what you've done. And about listening, I listened to everything perfectly yesterday. I think in the future I don't want to talk to you anymore, see and hear you, or even be around you. Let's just get divorced, without any further scandals. The court will decide about the face, but I will insist. The wife says, "That's where you're wrong. I won't give you a divorce. It's not even up for discussion. And in the next 2 years and 2 months we will not be divorced. I want to remind you, Bone, that I am pregnant with your child. I say, to be honest, I doubt it very much now. Do you understand? Wife. Yes, fine. You can tell everyone about it. I can imagine the position you'll be in when we do a DNA test after he's born. I will insist on it myself. I say it doesn't change anything anyway. Even if you and I are not divorced, I will not live under the same roof with you, believe me. To which my wife replied, you will be, how sweet you will be. I'll say more, you're getting yourself in order now. And the three of us, you, me, and Aria, are going home. Will the bill be enough for you? To which I replied, of course. How can you be so sure that it will be so or otherwise? The wife replied, otherwise, tomorrow everyone at work will find out that you left your pregnant wife, and they will all spit in your back, okay? And you know how your boss feels about it. You'll be out of work like a traffic jam. Do you understand me? Your whole career is down the drain, and my good friend will block your oxygen everywhere. They won't even take you as a guard. And this Michael of yours, yes, did you hear that too? Yes, he is the one. A serious man. By the way, we saw each other yesterday, but he understood everything perfectly. We decided to remain just good friends, and at any moment, I can count on him. Is that clear? And what's your name, Ethan? It was more difficult with him, but I think I explained everything clearly to him. At least I hope so. I hope that he will not appear again. Finally, understand that I don't need anyone but you. Okay, let's get ready. Know that if I go home without you now, blame yourself tomorrow. I'll turn everyone against you. And if everyone finds out the reason. I don't think so. Who are you going to tell this to? You'll embarrass yourself first. Besides, you never know what you've been imagining. Well, you. But I think it's not necessary to insult a pregnant wife. Although I deserve a lot of words, this is a fact. Okay, you got it. But you know perfectly well that after all, you and I will no longer have the same relationship. Never. The old life, too. I will never be able to forgive you. And do you need my forgiveness? Come on, tell me, don't you think what you've been doing all this time is an abomination, and don't even regret it? Listen, this is your life position, your views on family relations. People like you, they don't change. You look at the world differently. It's completely different. That's all. That's the whole reason. The wife answers, we will have 2 years and 2 months with you. Either you or I will change them. If you want to get a divorce after that, then I'll let you go. In the meantime, let's not cut from the shoulder, okay? Get ready. I'm waiting at home. Let's finish it. Remember, there is no us anymore. I have nothing to talk about with you either. I'm only interested in you as long as you're carrying my baby. Next, I will be interested only in the child and Aria. Now go downstairs and wait there while I wash and get dressed. In general, like an obedient and weak-willed sheep, I returned home with her, to a house where now everything seems strange to me. The food is bitter, the water is rotten. I moved into the living room, and I try not to communicate with my wife. Over the past 3 months, I have forgotten how to smile, lost my appetite, sleep, and interest in life. I do everything automatically, and I go home with great reluctance. While Madison is pregnant, I try not to yell at her, not to rattle her nerves, but she does not hear affectionate words from me as before. And in general, I'm only saying what concerns her pregnancy. I carry everything I need. I still support my family. But there is no happiness anymore.